Welcome to Ask a Puppy Trainer Show. This is where we answer all of your questions about puppyhood. I'm Bethany.
And I'm Sparky from the Puppy Academy. We're excited you're here. And now, let's get to the show.
Hi, I'm Bethany from the Puppy Academy. Welcome to Ask a Puppy Trainer Show. And I got Jerry here, our adolescent cutie, a little bit of an older puppy. So hopefully he can kind of hang with me a little bit. He's a veteran. This is episode 248. Now, I've got lots of things to talk to you guys about today, but please, I would rather answer your specific questions. And so if you could put that down below in the comments, include age and breed. And I'm watching the TikTok over here. Let me pull that up. And then we've got one on Instagram already. Awesome. So let me get TikTok up, because if I don't have it up on my phone, it doesn't show me anything. All right. There we go. Let's start with the Instagram one, yeah.
My 13-week-old puppy is very reactive anytime she sees our cat. We need to resolve this, or we might have to rehome her.
Aww. Could you include the breed or breed mix, just so I have a rough idea, 13-week-old puppy? Could you include that below, and then we'll come back to your question. Okay, because it's important. Okay, Megan Hope Garrison, 6-month-old, started barking back when corrected, especially for nipping. Help with both. Started barking back when corrected. I understand. I'm alone today, so just give me a second. I'm corrected, especially for nipping. Please help with both. Okay, 6-month-old. Here's the thing. And this is why we preach this all the time like a broken record. I'm sorry. You have to be doing a lot of things around the behavioral issue. You can't just go after the behavioral issue, because there is obviously a relationship. There's a relationship problem here. Isn't that right, Jer? Jer? And so what I need you to do, Megan, is look for other opportunities to set a tone with your, I'm supposed to be looking at TikTok now. Look for other opportunities to set a tone with your 6-month-old that doesn't have anything to do with when he is bratty, and that will go a long way. So I'll give you an example. Let's say that I'm doing place work with my puppy, my 6-month-old puppy, so kind of like Jer, adolescent, and you can start to hold them a little bit more accountable. We need to start proofing place. And so I'm going to do my normal place work. You can still be using food or affection, whatever you're using for positive reinforcement, but I'm going to be asking for higher levels of compliance or cooperation, however you want to look at it. How you do that is just proofing your commands. So squat down. Good boy, Jer. Things like that. Does that make them get up? Nope. Slide in with your leash. Like, we hold our leash with 2 hands when we do this. We hook a leash on the thumb and we slide our other hand up, and we do body language and block. And if the dog ignores our blocking, we do a gentle kind of bump into them and guide them back on with place. Do that a few times. And once they understand that moving in means I need to back up, which should happen very quickly. It might happen on the first try. It might be 3 or 4 for really pushy dogs or lazy dogs, either one actually. And once they understand that, and they understand that body language, you can just step in and give a little leash tug. And you might drop food on the floor. You might drop a toy on the floor. You might go, oh, hi. You might knock on the wall. There it is. And you might do any number of those things to trigger the dog breaking command. And that's where you can start to practice some authority and cooperation with your dog. And so that would be my suggestion, is to really look for moments to do this outside of just the trigger. So when you do go back, do it for the whatever's triggering the nipping. So if I kind of correct my dog, bump into them, no, then just take a breath, see what they do. They bark back at me. I might do a little bit more spatial pressure, another step into them. No, they're still barking at me. I'll keep doing it. I'll keep doing it and just wait till my puppy settles down. And then, good job, let's go over here. And then I'll redirect them once I get just a few seconds of settling. after I've given them the chance to bark back at me and they don't do it, be really quick with the redirect. So those would be my suggestions. Hopefully that helps. Did we get a follow back up?
Havanese.
Havanese. Okay. So I love Havanese, by the way. If I get another small dog and I like go through a breeder, or I don't know if there's a Havanese rescue, sometimes there are, I will definitely go for a Havanese because they're so sturdy and they're stubborn, and I don't mind that, but they are very hardy dogs a lot of times, but they're spoiled like cute little tiny dogs, but they're hardy little dogs. And so for you said 13 weeks old, really going after the cat. I think that at 13 weeks old, you are a little bit limited in what you can do. And so what I mean by that is if I've got even just a few more weeks on my puppy, I could do a little bit of leash accountability and kind of squish this chase drive. Now fixation is different, like just staring at the cat, but I can stop the chasing down pretty quickly. But at 13 weeks old, I honestly wouldn't be doing that. And so here's a tricky thing. Follow me here. What are you building outside of the cat issue? I started to sound like a broken record for the question that I just answered. So everything I just said for the other woman with the barking back at them when they try to address, anything, like the nipping, it's kind of the same thing. It's like, if I can go into the backyard and my dog is just sniffing, my puppy is just sniffing, and I've got to practice, come food, come food, come food. Oh, paused. I'll stop since it's a Instagram thing. Okay. So I want to do 30 repetitions a day for a week, right? And I'm just doing leash guidance. So I'm doing a 15-foot long lead in the backyard, and I'm just doing leash guidance to get my puppy to come to me. If that's not possible in the backyard, you start in the house, right? And so you graduate to that without the cat around, without the trigger around. Then you are going to practice that in the house around the trigger. You've got to get it good in like some medium level situations first before it's the biggest level. But you can do that quickly. You can do that in a matter of a week. I mean, just to be honest, like really pattern those repetitions of recalling off of the cat. So that's what I would do over and over and over again. And I don't know if you have a baby gate or something to help your cat out, but maybe you pick up the cat, the puppy sees it, you put the cat in the cat tree. Let's say you put the cat in the cat tree, then you're going to take your puppy who's like 14 weeks old now, and you're going to maybe do 6-foot lead, 10 at the most, depending on your space. Let the puppy go out and recall the puppy back in for food. And you probably need a little extra of a hungry puppy for this. Let the puppy go out, recall back in for food. I wouldn't address this firmly at your puppy's age in this context. I would just build good habits and figure out what level of threshold it takes to get my puppy to listen to me in this regard. That's why I said pick up the cat, puppy sees it, put in the cat tree, and hopefully the cat's like, oh, fine with being up there and not moving before you expect anything off of movement. Okay, so let's say you've done that. You've done your prep. Try a pet corrector. Try going to the store and getting, it just shoots out, it's a can of air, just shoots out air, excuse me, but it's like a little can. And what you can do is set the scenario up, or certain times a day where you know that it happens, and your puppy is still on a leash, very important, takes off after the cat, just squirt the air can. You can say no and squirt the air can. See if your puppy is just sensitive to noise. I'll be honest with you, 2 things. I don't like using that a lot for a few different reasons. One, if it works really, really well, it makes them a little nervous of noises, but at least you can set a tone and set a little bit of respect around the cat. And so it's so important that you just don't go straight to that, because if you don't have the foundation of not just what not to do, but what to do instead, which is I'm your number one, come back to me, I'm fun, it feels better, I help you feel calm and controlled, like a parent, right? And so if you're not cultivating that relationship, the air can is going to, if it works really, really well, the dog is only listening through suppression. That's it. And that's that's going to wear off, or it could have other repercussions. Or what can happen is you use it 4 or 5 times and the dog is like, that's just an annoying noise. I don't care anymore. And it comes back tenfold. And so you also have to be practicing the things I mentioned before with Megan and her 6-month-old outside of the cat issue alone. And if it sounds like I'm being tentative about this, it's because it's a 13-week-old puppy. But I want you to be able to keep your puppy in your home. And so try some of these things and see what you get. There's one other thing that I forgot to mention. I'm so glad that popped into my head. Can you read the question again? Can you find it?
Yeah, 13-week-old puppy is very reactive. Anytime she sees our cat, we need to resolve this or we might have to rehome her.
Reactive when she sees the cat. Do you know what your puppy will actually do once it makes it to the cat? Because you might be surprised. It could be a lot of frustration, a lot of prey drive that's play. It doesn't have like any issue at the end of it. And so I would try putting your puppy in crate and getting the cat maybe with treats, or just put the cat down. All cats are so different. Like, it just depends on your cat on how much you can do. But putting your cat around the crate and a fence, you can do this with like a baby gate as well, and really see what happens when they go nose to nose. If you don't see teeth, you are dealing with the beginning signs of prey drive, don't get me wrong, but you can tap it into play, and you can control through play. Or he might just be treating him like your puppy might just be treating the cat like they would another dog. So
our cat just hides in the basement all day.
Right, but what I'm saying is that you actually don't know what your puppy will do. You need to find out before you give a puppy back. Don't you want to know if that puppy actually would bite the cat? Because it could be early prey drive. Or is it prey drive, but it's not going to end in a bite? The puppy just wants to play, and it's just chasing the cat because your cat is fearful and running. And so it still might not be the right puppy energy for your family. That might be true. You might have to prioritize, are you okay with your cat hiding for really long periods of time for the next couple of years until, the dog kind of finds a balance emotionally? Because it's basically like having a toddler in the home for 2 years running around like crazy and biting and peeing and pooping. So that's definitely something to consider. But at the end of the day, I just think that you need to know what could actually happen right now. Okay. All right. Give the puppy a chance, right, is what I'm trying to say, with a respectful barrier, for your cat.
A few more live ones on Instagram, whenever you want.
Yeah, let's do. I don't see any that have. I do have a couple that have popped up over here. Okay, let me jump over. I'll do one from you, and then I'll come back to Instagram. Let's see here. 1-year-old sighthound, Chloe. Any tips for overexcitement when greeting guests, especially new people? Yes, especially, a 1-year-old. So we do balance training, and I absolutely have no issues with blocking a dog or using the leash to counteract. Jerry, have you had it? Have you had it? You've been so good, Jer. Jerry, you're so good. Oh, he even stretched in my arms. This is the most relaxed doodle. This is what everybody wants. Oh yeah, sorry. He's done. He's gone. This is the most relaxed doodle ever. That's what everybody, when they're like, I want a doodle, they think of Jerry. It's just, I'm just gonna be honest, most of our doodles that come through here are not like Jerry. They are not. Okay, anyway, Chloe. Overexcitement, 1-year-old sighthound with guests. Really help your dog understand what you want them to do when guests come over. So someone knocks at the door, knock, knock, knock. Sighthound goes to the door, maybe a little alert bark, no big deal, if that's the case. And you if you need to be able to get your dog away from the door first, okay, before you even go and open the door. So this could be done with a leash. If it's not explosive, intense barking, you just call your dog to you and teach them a place command. Teach them a place command to stay in place. Use body language, stepping in, like that's your communication for no, you need to stay on the cot, and really work on your stay while you go and let people in the door. And the sight hound's got to learn that people aren't coming over for the dog, but if you stay in place, you get to be released and say hi. But you don't get to be released and say hi until you can do place. Now that might take a little bit of time depending on how often you have guests over. So you could use crate as well if you wanted to, just to kind of get over the hump of people coming in and work on that later. Now bring the dog out of crate, but eventually we want that to be place and stay until the people come in, and then release your sight hound to say hello and say no for anything that you don't like. Now your no has to be backed up with something. That could be like a little leash tug. That could be just like turning, moving backwards, turning, let's go, distance, sit, break, go do it again. So the reason we do it that way is it's some sort of interrupter, some sort of no for what you don't like, and then you get them back with you. That's the reprimand, because what they want is the human in front of them, right? So you can do a number of things. I'll just be really honest. With a 1-year-old, as long as I've taught a solid sit, down, or place, not all together, like any one of those, I just need a really solid command that I've proofed with my 1-year-old in different scenarios. And it's going to be no, tug of the leash, back here, down, or place. Place is the best because it's a target, so it's really easy for excited dogs to just jump on it and wait. Pause, say hi to the person again, let the dog breathe for a second, let everybody breathe for a second. But here's the key, you got to release them again, because you don't want them to think that it's like being pet and interacting with humans is what's not okay. So I would highly suggest doing this over and over again. I don't know if it's jumping, nipping, I'm not sure what it is, but I would highly suggest doing it until the dog calms down and understands, oh, that's why I was like having to be pulled away, from the owner. So rinse and repeat as many times as it takes, and, play around with different levels of what your no looks like. Some dogs are really sensitive to blocking. That's actually my border collie. He's laying down here. He's super sensitive to body language. So if he gets too hyped, like with my toddler, all I have to do is just like take a step towards him, and I snap too. It's kind of a habit. I'm like, hey, and I just take a step forward, and he's like, never mind. And he calms down right away, because we used a lot of body language in his training and proofing commands because he's so sensitive to it. Other dogs are not sensitive to it at all. It's like pitties. It's like leg, brick wall, and they just push through. And so they have other, typically, there's generalities. So there's other ways like to help them. They can do better with leash, for instance, like a leash tug. And so, yeah, just play around with those things. I will give you one more thing. If you have something that really resonates with your sight hound, say you're walking in the woods and you've got a good, don't even think about it, let's go. You can use that in this scenario too. So if you have value in another scenario where they're like looking at a rabbit and you're like, get back here. If that's your as soon as they go to jump on your guest, come, sit down. Good, break, go again. And then last but not least, help the person coming in, help the person coming in, be calm, be chill, tell them, say, hey, if I say no to my dog or whatever it is, just stop petting them for a second. And people usually want to help. So be like, can you help me work with my sight hound's excitement, right? These are the good ones. These is not grandma, these are the ones that are friends and are happy to come over and do this drill 8 times, coming in the door and things like that. So set it up with people that you can trust and be like, can you help me work with my sight hound? That way it is easier with your parents my parents that I asked and they don't really listen. I'm like, don't pet the dog right now. They're like, wow. So Choose wisely while you're going to start being a stickler for this for your next, 5 times doing it before you try to do it with people who are going to get your dog really excited. Okay, hopefully that helps. I'm going to move on. Let's see. Jada. 8-month-old Dalmatian on leash and him stay beside me and not pull. Well, Jada, I don't know your Dalmatian's personality, but Dalmatians can be very willful. They wouldn't be, great sport dogs if they weren't. And cooperation, like getting that companionship with them where they're kind of choosing you first, it could be tough with a Dalmatian sometimes. It's just in my experience, they're very independent minded. But they're not like, I say that and it makes me think of a husky, but they're not big babies like huskies are. They're pretty tough dogs. And so what I would say is, or I should say city huskies. What I would say is, let's make sure you got some neck control for an 8-month-old, and do not leave your property with a pulling dog. And so first it's going to start with, when I get the leash, how excited is your dog? Can they sit and be geared up? Walking to the door, stopping at thresholds. Can you open a door and your dog sits and waits? Like, you've got precursors to the walk that you have to make sure are in a good position before you're asking for that good behavior on the walk. So those are just some kind of pretext. But then when you do get right out your front door, this is what I do. I'll go, let's go. And I actually have an 8-month-old Dobie right now. Zoom out the door. Like, he does his sit and he does his wait, and then he's super excited, and then he flies out the door and hits the end of the leash. We turn, we go back inside. I don't fully shut the door unless I think I really have to, but I do that a few times just to desensitize the threshold a little bit. And then I have a long walkway, and it's really nice. It's like the wall of the garage and then a row of bushes. And so I've got, some structure on each side, but we work the walkway. You do not pull to the front of the yard to go potty and then pull me to the sidewalk to go for a walk. It's like, no, you get the loose leash walk. You get the dog in follower mode. This is me with the leash, by the way. That's what I'm doing. It looks like I'm rowing, but the dog goes out. Let's go. Turn. Dog doesn't listen. You can know them, you can just tug the leash, you can use food, or all combination of those things, but like, choose a style and draw your dog into you, and do not go one step with them pulling. I mean, that's really one of the most important things. The other thing I would say is inside turns, like inside pack work, will work really well for settling a dog down, but you kind of have to already get some, in my opinion, you kind of got to get somewhere first. You got to get a little bit of cooperation before you can do that. So hopefully that helps. All right. Yeah, jump to Instagram. Yeah.
My 16-week-old show Cocker Spaniel seems to get overstimulated, biting and growly when going out for his short walks. He is calmer when not walked. Help.
Okay, so your hunting dog is getting amped by going outside. You need longer and more challenging sessions, or some combination thereof. And so what I would, this is supposed to be rapid fire. Okay, so you're going to go out the door and you're going to actually let the dog pull. And you're going to say, let's go, or come, and you're going to work on a come to a sit. Or you can say heel and work on heel position, but then you're going to break the dog again and let them go again. And you might not get very far, just like the advice I gave over here. But you're going to let the dog sniff, come, let the dog sniff, come, let the dog, wear the dog out. And then you say come, they don't come. I forget how old this dog is. 16 weeks. Oh, it's still a baby. Oh, I was thinking 6 months. You've got so much prep work to do. It's like in the house, all what I just said, like, you got to practice that in the house on leash. Like, you've got to have that muscle memory down pat. And there's no rapid fire with Instagram because it goes out all the time. So you need to practice these things in the house and then try to get them outside the house. But that's what I would do, is I would find more challenges with your puppy outside. Instead of a walk, it's basic obedience work and maybe some tug or some fetch or start a flirt pull for one session. Don't do it for all your training sessions, but do some play mixed in for one of your training sessions a day. And then one of your training sessions is exploring. And one of your training sessions is lots of obedience work. So do a little bit longer chunks of time, and you need to find more challenges for your puppy. Yeah, that's what I would do. Okay, you want to read another one on there?
Yeah. Would love to play fetch at the park/beach with my golden retriever, 6 months, but nervous about recall. When is the right time to practice off-leash fetch in public? When will I know my puppy is ready? That's a lady's one.
So not at 6 months old. So I like to be very comfortable with full off-leash control. So for me, 6 months old is just not going to be it. There's just so many things that can happen. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of it, but there's so many things that can happen. What you can do is go get, well, there's two things. One is the training aspect of it. So you need a valuable no. If you don't have a valuable no, then nothing can help you. Even if you have gear, even if you have training gear fails, right? And so you need to have a valuable no, and that's usually practiced outside of the setting that you're trying to do it in. So if you are in the backyard and a lady rushes and barks at the neighbor, it's like, no, come. Practice those things and some sort of consequence for not listening to no in that scenario really reliably. So that way that authority is being practiced in those situations, not just at the beach. Start there. Otherwise, you're going to create frustration at the beach because she can't get to what she wants to get to and she's not listening. So make sure it's really solid in other areas first before you try the beach. And then try the beach. And then my second thing is get a biothane long lead, like a drag lead. So biothane is so great for the beach because it's so easy to clean. Get a really thin one. You can get them on Amazon, and that way it is annoying because like other dogs might step on it, people might step on it. If she runs around like crazy, then yeah, she might get somebody or something, twisted up. A dog, I mean. So you do have to keep an eye on that, but there's different parts of the beach where you can go that's not quite so congested and work on this. Don't go to like the dog park section of the beach where everybody's congregating in a circle. Give some distance and let her do that drag lead and hold it when you need to hold it. And then you can play around with your NO when it's loose. See how responsive she is in different scenarios. Kids, prey, dogs, and something that could cause fear, like a car backfiring. You want to proof those 4 things in different scenarios at home, park, before you're actually off leash on a hike or a beach. Okay, let's do one more quick one. Back over on Tickety Talk. Let's see. Chloe says for the jumping 1-year-olds, I think the 1-year-old sighthound, right? Practice is hard because parents are hard. Thanks for the tips. Yeah, don't do it with the parents or don't start it with the parents. Like there has to be some cooperation there. I have to talk to him. All right, 9-week-old puppy biting. Redirection isn't working. Sometimes high-pitched no works, but only for a second. I wouldn't do the squeaking at your puppy. Your puppy's brain is like fully formed at 9 weeks old. It's fully ready to go and is growing rapidly. It's not a 5-week-old squeaky puppy anymore. I do know sometimes that works with small breed young dogs, but yeah, I wouldn't do that anymore. And you can't always redirect either. You've got to have some sort of pause where the dog knows that you don't like what they're doing. Sometimes that could be as simple as they start chewing on you and you kind of make a little bit of a fist, and you just freeze. You just go no and freeze. They take their mouth off of you or they start licking. Good. Go back to doing what you were doing. But most of the time when we get nipping, not all the time. And sometimes it's genetic, sometimes it's teething. But if it's hard nipping, you really want to make sure that puppy's being fulfilled other parts of the day and you're not petting the puppy at the wrong times. I'm sorry I don't have time to go in depth on that. We do have lots of questions on that though, almost weekly. So you could check out our YouTube if you wanted to deep dive some of that. Or
we have our free masterclass for biting.
Where do they find that?
Link in bio.
Link in bio. We do have a free masterclass on biting. If I remember correctly, I think the puppies are a little bit older because even 9 weeks to 16 weeks makes a huge difference. So if that is the case, I would just soften some of the approaches for the 9-week-old. But yeah, really, I mean, at this age, lots of nipping and biting. I'd really be trying to tire out the puppy in short amounts of time. Like really tug and drop and work on place and thresholds to really work on that impulse control. All right. Have a good day, guys, and I will see you next week.
Thanks for tuning into Ask a Puppy Trainer Show.
We hope you found some advice that you can use to help make puppyhood a little easier.
Don't forget to join us live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time on Instagram or TikTok at The Puppy Academy.
This is where you can get a chance to ask your burning questions in real time. And if you want even more puppy guidance, visit our website at thepuppyacademy.com for info on joining our online puppy school.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider subscribing to our podcast and leaving us a review.
These reviews let more people find us and supports us on our mission to help as many puppy parents as possible around the globe.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.